people talk about new developments in tennis, I immediately think of the two-handed backhand because there's just more and more good players that seem to be using it. And the reason I think everybody uses it, they get good control, and of course they get that good natural topspin. And here to tell us about the two-handed backhand is Tom Gorman.
Some of the best players in the world use two-handed backhands. It hasn't been happening for very long, so there's been a lot of talk on the good points about it, the bad points about it. I think generally you'll find that the players that are using the two-handed backhand, among them Borg, Chris Evert-Lloyd, Eddie Dibbs, Harold Solomon, Gene Mayer, when they all started, most of them used it because they weren't strong enough to hold it with one hand, so they used it for strength and power, where now it's developing as a shot for deception. The idea being that in a two-handed backhand, you can wait a little longer for the ball to come to you than on a one-handed backhand. Some of the more general mechanics about the two-handed backhand, starting with the grip, most of the players use an Eastern backhand, and then the left hand comes over just naturally. This enables a natural swing to be from very low up to very high. The footwork that's involved here is very important, and it also means that you have to have much quicker preparation because you don't have the reach. The top players that are playing in the game now take very small steps. And so when you're growing up or when you're starting to use it, you have to remember you have to be moving awfully well and get that preparation of the racket back very quickly. On the follow-through with a two-handed backhand, having your left arm and left hand on the racket means that your shoulder level will remain constant through the entire shot. The follow-through is not as long as it is on a one-handed backhand, which means that you're more readily prepared for the next shot. You can wait for the ball to come to a little longer than normally if you're just hitting one-handed backhand. This enables you to wait, and it makes your opponent commit himself, which means that you can hold the ball on the racket a little longer. Another advantage that you'll have as you hit the two-handed backhand is on the passing shot, because you not only get the natural topspin by virtue of dropping the racket head down lower than you do on a one-handed backhand, but you also get a lot of side spin because of the action of your left hand on the racket. And it also means that as a two-handed backhand player, you're going to be playing more to the side of the court than to the length of the court, which means you're going to try to take your opponent out wide, out farther even than the doubles alley, to get him out of the court, and then on the next shot, open up the entire court for the put-away shot. So now the most obvious question is, should I switch to a two-handed backhand? My first response, immediate response is, if you aren't going to actually go to a total two-handed backhand, use the left hand not only as a guide, but as a balance. I think that as you take the racket back, you can use your left hand on the throat and the frame, and as you hit the moment of impact, then let your hand go. But I believe that as you hit the ball, the left arm and the left hand is a very important and a very vital part of the backhand, whether it's a two-handed backhand or a one-handed backhand.